Over the past few days, you've sent in some great questions about RV life, finances, and making this lifestyle work for you. Today, we're going to dig into those questions and give you the answers you've been waiting for. Whether you're just starting to dream about RV living or already planning your launch, these answers will help you move forward with more clarity and confidence. Can I move me? I was trying to move myself out of the way, but I guess I can't. Okay. RV memberships, are they money savers or money pits? How do I know which membership is best for my travel style? It really depends on how you travel. If you stay weeks at a time, a membership like Thousand Trails can pay for itself. If you move every couple days, Harvest Hosts is better. For families who like amenities, KOA makes good sense. Good Sam, that one usually pays for itself in one or two stops. Our friends once spent a winter in Florida where sites ran $1,300 a month. Their $3,600 used Thousand Trails membership more than covered itself that season, and that's when I realized the right membership isn't an expense, it's an investment. Start with one membership, track what you save, and let the numbers tell you if it's worth it. Here's something that can trip up RV entrepreneurs, and it's not what you think: compliance. Do I need permits if I'm selling while traveling? Yes. Even for short term events, some states require temporary permits, and you always want to stay above board. I once saw a seller at a campground lose an entire weekend of sales because they didn't realize a permit was required. That stuck with me. It's not worth risking your income over a small oversight. Make a quick checklist and what you need before selling. It protects your business and your peace of mind. Want to know the fastest way to burn out online? Trying to be everywhere at once. How do I grow an audience without burning out? Pick one platform you enjoy and focus there. I can't show up well in 10 places, but I can show up consistently in one. When I tried to juggle Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, Threads, Medium, all at once, I was exhausted. Don't forget about TikTok. Once I leaned into the platform I liked most, it was easier and my audience grew faster. Consistency beats hustle. Choose one space you enjoy regularly and show up. Let that be enough. Want to fly for less and still have money left for campgrounds? When should I buy airline miles instead of paying cash? Only when it actually saves you money. Sometimes during promotions, buying miles can be cheaper than the ticket itself, but if the math doesn't add up, skip it. I once grabbed a deal that cut the cost of a flight in half using miles, but other times I've checked and it wasn't worth it. That's why I always compare before I buy. Run the numbers first. If miles save you money, go for it. If not, keep your cash. What if one digital product could cover your gas money for the month? What kinds of Canva templates actually sell? The simple, useful ones, things like planners, checklists, trackers. People buy what makes life easier, not necessarily what looks fancy. I made a downsizing checklist for RVers that was super basic. People loved it. Sometimes the simplest tools are the ones that sell best. Don't overthink it. Solve one small problem with one simple template and let it work for you over and over again. Think you need thousands of followers to make money? Not true. Do I need a big email list to make money? Nope. A small connected list can be plenty if you give real value and keep it consistent. My list started tiny, but because I showed up regularly and built trust, I made income long before it was big. Focus on connection, not numbers. Serve your list well, and the money follows. Want to know what keeps RV life fun instead of stressful? An emergency fund. How much should I save before going full time? Plan for at least 3 to 6 months of expenses. I also suggest a separate flexibility fund for things like last minute campgrounds or flights. Our first year, we blew a tire in the middle of nowhere. Having that money set aside turned a disaster into just another story. Did you know that it can cost anywhere around $700 to $1,000 to get your motorhome towed to a repair shop? If you don't have roadside assistance, then you may be in trouble if you don't have an emergency fund. Save your cushion now. Surprises are guaranteed. Stress doesn't have to be. Think you don't have anything worth selling? You do. Can I make money from something ordinary I know? Yes. Why, yes, you can. What feels ordinary to you can be life-changing for someone else. I turned our downsizing process into a resource, and people thanked me for something I thought was just common sense. That's when it clicked. Simple experiences are valuable. Your everyday know how is someone else's shortcut. Package it, share it, and let it work for you. Here's a sneaky budget buster most RVers don't plan for. What's the biggest unexpected expense? Repairs. No matter how careful you are, something always breaks, and it's rarely cheap. Our fridge went out in year 2 and the bill was over $1,000. Having a repair fund kept us rolling. Did you know that if you have a residential refrigerator, that most of the time in a Class A, it has to go out the windshield? Budget extra for maintenance. It's not if, it's when. Budgets are guesses. Tracking tells the truth. How do I know if my spending is sustainable while traveling? Track it. Without tracking, you're just hoping for the best. With tracking, you can adjust things before they spiral. When I started logging expenses, I realized campgrounds were eating way more of our budget than I expected. That's when I shifted to more boondocking. Check your numbers monthly, adjust as you go, and you'll stay in control. Think travel has to wait for someday? It doesn't. How do I start traveling without waiting for retirement? Look at where your money's going. Subscriptions, takeout, impulse buys. Those little leaks can actually fund real adventures. We cut back on random spending and use that money for weekend getaways. Those short trips built the confidence to go full time. Shift your priorities and travel can start now, not years down the road. You don't need to replace your old salary to fund RV life. How much money do I actually need to live on the road? Enough to cover your essentials: campgrounds, fuels, food, insurance, maintenance, and a little fun. That's your real number. When we added it up, we realized our RV expenses were way less than our old house. That gave us the push to finally make the leap. Don't chase your old paycheck. Find your real numbers and it becomes possible. Budgets look good on paper until you hit the road. Why does my budget fall apart when I start traveling? Because life doesn't match spreadsheets. The missing piece is tracking what you actually spent. I budgeted 30% for campgrounds, but when I tracked it, the real number was closer to 45%. That traffic that that tracking saved me from blowing my budget. Budgets are just the plan. Tracking is what keeps you honest and sustainable. What if you could travel longer without spending more? That's the cheapest way. What's the cheapest way to stretch my travel budget? Think creatively about how you camp. Boondocking on public land gives you free or super low cost nights. The right memberships can slash campground fees, sometimes saving hundreds in a single season. And staying longer almost always works out cheaper. Weekly and monthly rates are a fraction of nightly price. Those 3 strategies alone have saved us thousands while keeping us on the road. One of the biggest game changers for us was learning to mix in free nights of boondocking with paid campgrounds. Even just a few nights a month saved us hundreds, and that's money we could put right back into our travel fund. Stretching your budget isn't just cutting costs, it's being creative with opportunities. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you that the Summit All Access Pass is still available, but only for a limited time. That way you can catch up on any sessions you missed and revisit the ones you loved. And if you didn't get the chance to ask your question, or if something new pops up, just hit reply to any of the Summit emails and I'll personally make sure you get the answers you need. Mary from Life in the RV. Thanks for joining us.